Hi guys, so in today's video I want to set this tank up as a goldfish tank. I've got all my old Anubias out of my old tank and I need to give it a good clean up, get the algae off it. And then I've got this piece of wood here that just won't sink, and I want to attach all this Anubias, get them out the pots. They've been in the pots for well over a year, and I want to stick them on that piece of wood and put that in the middle of the tank. I want to set the sump up differently, and I've got a few other bits and pieces I want to do to the tank. But before I start with the tank, I need to nip to my local fish shop, Andy's Aquatics, and pick up a few bits and pieces that I need to set my tank up. The first thing I always do when I get into Andy's Aquatics is have a good nose at the old goldfish. Even when I had saltwater tanks, the first thing I ever did, and I've been doing for the last, 20-30 years, is going straight up and having a good old nose at the goldfish. This week, we've got a nice collection of adult Orandas, different colours. We've got red and white, we've got blacks, and we've got standard Orandas. Then we've got the Baba Orandas here in the tanks opposite. And then next to it, we've got some little Ranchus, different colour ones, some black and white, some red and white. And then onto the pond fish. These are my favourites, the commons, and then the London Shabunkins, and then we've got some lemon coloured goldfish, and then we've got the Sarasa Comets, which obviously I've always said they're my favourite. And then we've got some large comets and yellows. And we've got a big tub, big vat of adult goldfish, different ones, commons and Sarasa. And then we've got the king of ponds, the old koi. I absolutely love koi, but they get in the way of keeping goldfish. So, various size koi, all different types. And then we've got some more adult comets, Sarasa comets in this vat. Right, so let's get shopping. I always there's some Rapashi for the goldfish, and then I need one of the bag for some Purigen. Now all the shopping's done, I can get off home and get started. Let's have a look what I got from the shop then. So I got myself a dual auto feeder. I've got myself an auto feeder so I can feed pellets twice a day. I'm going to do like a manual feeding of like bloodworms or something. I went for me good old Saki Hikari, which I've used for years. Stubbsy from Shubsies. He recommended Northfin. Now I already had Saki Hikari, so I didn't get the Northfin goldfish. I got the Northfin veggie to give them a change, but there isn't, looking at the goldfish, the Northfin goldfish and the Saki Hikari, there isn't much difference in the ingredients. This got a few more in, but essentially it's mostly the same. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go out and check Stubbsy. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go over and check out Stubbsy's Wackines, which are absolutely stunning. I also got a gravel vac. So I've already got one of these, but it's bigger, and I want to be able to take that off so I can get in there. And because I'm running it bare bottom, there's a lot of sand and stuff, and my bigger one just won't cause the vacuum to be able to pick the mold. Every time I start the canister filter back up and prime it, it blows a load of stuff out. So I need something that can get in there, and plus the remnants, the last of the sand's still in there. I've blown it out with the turkey baster, and I just need something to get in there and clear the bare bottom tank out. Then I got the bag, and I'm going to add some Purigen to the sump. I'm going to strip my canister filter down, use that purely as mechanical. I ordered myself some more sponges and some filter floss fleece, as Fancy Goldfish Fanatics calls it. So I'm just going to set up the canister as just pure mechanical filtration, and my sump as pure biological filtration with some chemical filtration. So, do you want to see my sump? Alright guys, here's my sump, so let's have a look at the setup. So right there, I've got a 1 micron filter sock that needs to be changed. It needs changing every day or two. I've got half a dozen of them, might order some more. And then in the first chamber, I've got a ton of bio balls. Then I've got my heater, which is the Eheim. It's the Wi-Fi one, which you control it from your phone, set the temp and stuff. It's a bit of a pain to set up. If anyone wants me to show them how to set it up, I don't mind. And then main chambers full of bio balls. I've got some ceramic rings, which came out of my canister filter. And then behind that, I've got a bag of CK Matrix that came out of a Tidal hang on the back. And then I've got some, right along the bottom, I've got a layer in filter bags of chicken grit, crust oyster shell. And then I've got a few more there. And then my pump. And then got the second E The second Eheim Wi-Fi heater, which another one you can control from your phone. And then I've got a little old pond solution light that just to when I'm doing maintenance. And then canister filter. Let's get that open and let's get it set up. So I've got the trays out. I'm going to take the fine stuff out of here. It's a little technical, one-handed, I suppose, but we'll persevere. And then what I'm going to do is set it up like a pond filter. I'm going to set that at the bottom. So apparently these flow from top to bottom and then back out through the pump. So I've added 2 of the fine wool type filters at the bottom, and then I'm going to put the intermediate one. I'm going to put the intermediate one. I think this is a charcoal one, but the charcoal will be well spent by now, the activated carbon. So I'm going to put that in there. I might order another one, another medium grade. I mean, they're not expensive. At the top, I've just added two of the coarse ones, and then so it should flow through the coarse, through the medium, through the fine, like you would in a pond. That's my logic anyway. If anyone knows if it's the opposite, well, let me know pretty bloody quickly. I've just filled it back up with some fresh water. I'm gonna add 10 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One for good luck. It doesn't have to smell like chlorine, this water tonight. My water doesn't usually smell like chlorine, but there's a distinct swimming pool smell from it. I'm not taking any risks. I've added plenty of Optimus, not Prime. I'm going to set this canister back up now. Now I've got the bag, and I'm going to add Purigen to this, but I'm going to do it inside this box. And I'll tell you why. Purigen is like tiny little white balls, and they're an absolute nightmare. If you drop them, get them anywhere. So I'm going to do it inside the box, so if I drop any, they stay in the box. So there is 1 bag of Purigen, and then I used this little jar, which I normally use for live food. I'll put water in it and I'll let the live food defrost in there. I'll also, if I'm using pellets for goldfish, I'll fill it up with some tank water and then let the pellets sit for half an hour to soften. I always use sinking pellets, but then I say that and I've just shown you an auto feeder. But that's what I normally do. But anyway, there's 1 bag of Purigen. As you can see, there's a ton of the little balls. Let's see if I can zoom in. There you go. Now they're rock hard. They won't break down, and they're all like roly. So if you get them on your floor, they'll probably send you flying. Let's get that in the tank. So that's 1 bag of Purigen in my tank. A lot of this you probably think, oh, it's overkill. I already had all these bio balls already, so I thought to myself, well, rather than letting them sit there dry, why not just use them? And then obviously the ceramic rings, they're all recycled. So I've got the matrix, I already had it. It came with my tidal hang on the back. So most of the stuff in here I already had, so I might as well use it. And then this canister filter, it came with the tank I bought, so I thought, well, I might as well use it. Some aren't great, are they, for mechanical filter? And what I need to do, I need to have a filter day. I've got a piece of wood that I can put on the back, and then I can screw all my electrics to it and all that, all my controllers and all my gadgets. And then I can strip everything out, give it a good clean. That's what I need to do next. Give everything a clean down. And then I need to get these sponges out and buy some new sponges. Oh, there's a cherry shrimp. And yeah, I need to get that sock change. So here's a little tip for you. Window cleaning scrims, absolutely fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic, so you don't have to make your wife's best towels, and happy wife, happy life and all that. And the best thing about these window cleaning scrims is they're lint free, so you can literally just wipe your glass with them and stuff. Just boil wash them when you get them. You probably get them off Amazon for about £5. Lint free cloth scrims. I've been using them for years. You can just throw them over your shoulder, wring them out when they're wet, and you just keep using them. Oh, I've got my Anubias out. I'm going to give them clean down with hydrogen peroxide, 3% solution. I figured out that these screw on the top of them. Don't try this at home. I am what is known in the aquarium hobby affectionately as a smart ass. Don't try this at home. I'm not telling you what to do if you do it. I'm just not advising it, you know. So I'm going to give them, there's a bit of fatty leaves on there. This won't work with a lot of plants, but Anubias are resilient as anything, so I'm going to spray it down. Being careful not to spray on the rhizome, apparently. I'm trying not to spray it on the rhizome. But, the rhizome, ladies and gentlemen, is this green piece here. You're not supposed to bury that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out of all the rock wool and I'm going to glue the rhizome or tie it, depending on what I can find, to the piece of wood I've got. Tomorrow it's still not sinking, so there's a big old rhizome right there. I might chop this in half. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that way, one that way, and I'm going to glue my congenensis so it's pointing that way, because they only grow in one direction. But they've all got little baby plants growing on them, or rhizomes. And then this one has got 2, 3 little rhizomes, so I'll separate them, glue them all on in slightly different places. But I want the whole log to be covered in Anubias. I might order myself a pinto and maybe a coffee folia, or however you pronounce it. So there you go, that's me. I've cleaned them all off, and then in the morning I'll probably glue on the wood back in, sprayed. You can see all the oxygen bubbles forming on the algae. That's a good sign that it's brown bread. So all this sand and mold, the mold keeps coming out of that. Can't even see it because of all the mold that's come out of the canister filter when I've set it back up. So I just had a message off Star Fisheries. My new goldies are coming in the morning, so I'm really excited about that. I've been wanting to keep these goldies for at least 30 years, I think, so I am really pumped about that. So just before I sign off, what can I show you? I've got these 2 Fluval Plant lights set up, the 3.0s. I already had them, so I thought I may as well use them. Could have used one, but I thought I'll run 2 on less power. So they're on like 20% both of them, but it'll just give me a better spread of light on the tank. Why have I got 2 plant lights, high-tech plant lights over a fish tank, goldfish tank? Because I already had them. I wouldn't go out to do this deliberately. I already had the lights, so I may as well just use them, mightn't I? But yeah, that's my goldfish tank. All you need really is a light, a lot of water. I love a few plants in my tank. That wood, you probably think, well, that randomly keeps moving around. I'm trying to get it to sink, so I keep moving it around. Ton of biofilm on that, which just tells me it's transitioning. I think it's sugars, maybe. They're all getting broken up there. Heterotrophic bacteria, not the nitrifying bacteria, but they'll be releasing ammonia, and then nitrifying bacteria will be breaking that up. We've seen the plants that have been sprayed. I'm going to give it a massive water change in the morning. I'll probably drain it down to like and then get as much of this nonsense out as I can, and then fill it back up and hopefully get my goldies in there. Right guys, so there we go. So that's a look at my tank and setup. You're probably thinking it's a little bit like overkill. Yeah, I agree, it probably is. I had most of the stuff anyway, may as well use it. So just had a message while I was recording this video. I had 2, didn't I? I had Star Fisheries telling me my fish were on the way in the morning. I'm super pumped about that. And I also had a message from the Association of Midland Goldfish Keepers. I've now renewed my membership at that goldfish club. I also want to join the Northern Goldfish and Pond Keepers Association. But there's a gentleman on YouTube, I'll share his link in the description, called the English Aquarist, and he mentions all the clubs in the UK on his YouTube channel. Now please consider going over, watching some of his content, supporting him, maybe subscribing, and then think about joining supporting some of these societies, guys. They're like £1 a month or something, and they desperately need support. All clubs need support these days, so it's about £1 a month. Please consider going over and supporting them for me, please. So go and check the English Aquarist out, link in the description. Go check Stubbsy's Shubsies and his Joaquin out. They're absolutely stunning. I'll leave his link in the description. There's another guy, Lucky's Ranchu breeder. I'll put his channel link in the description. That's everything. Take care, guys, and hopefully tomorrow I'm doing an unboxing video.